Hey guys, welcome to Godology. My name is Danny. I am the pastor of Cross United Church here in sunny and warm South Florida. And this is really designed for our local church to learn and grow in our faith, what we believe. But if you're not part of our church, we want to invite you to come along for the journey. If you're here locally in South Florida, we're in Northeast Broward County. And if you're within driving distance, we'd love to invite you to join us Sunday at 10 a.m. You can see our website, crossunited.org, for more information. We're going to be talking in this series about what we believe, and we're going to be talking about why it matters. And so we're going to be building out some key themes from our statement or confession of faith as a church. A statement of faith is a statement that summarizes what we believe the Bible teaches about the most important things. In Jude 3, the Bible commands us to contend for the faith that was delivered to the saints once for all. And a statement of faith helps us do that. Sometimes you'll hear it called a confession of faith. And confession doesn't just mean admitting bad things that you've done. Confession is simply a statement about reality or acknowledging what is true. And so a confession can be acknowledging what's true about what you've done wrong, but it also can be acknowledging what's true about God and the Bible and God's world. So a statement of faith or a confession of faith is a way for us to talk about what we believe the Bible teaches about the most important things. The most ancient Christian statements of faith are called creeds. And these are short summary statements written many hundreds of years ago. The word creed comes from the Latin word credo, which means I believe. These creeds, the Nicene Creed, written in the 4th century, the Chalcedonian Creed, written in the 5th century, outline the core teaching of the Bible, the doctrine of the Trinity, and the doctrine of Christ as fully God and fully man. A statement of faith puts the most emphasis on the most important things. So we believe, for example, that the Bible teaches that God is a Trinity, that Jesus is God, that people are sinners, that how God goes about saving us. A statement of faith or a confession of faith also will often address other second-tier or third-tier issues, how we believe a church should be run or about the end times. So a statement of faith, that's a little bit about what is a statement of faith. Now, I want to answer the question, why do we need a statement of faith? And I think there are at least 4 reasons. The first is that a statement of faith helps us follow Jesus faithfully. When we study our statement of faith in light of Scripture, we find if it's a good statement of faith, and ours, the Baptist Faith and Message, updated in the year 2000, I believe, is a good one. It aligns closely with what Scripture actually teaches. Jesus talks about following him on a narrow pathway or roadway. And when you travel on a highway or a narrow pathway, you want to make sure that you don't fall off that pathway to either the left or the right. There are 2 ways that they, the Department of Transportation puts in place to keep you from running off the road and killing yourself or someone else. And the first of those is a rumble strip. Those the little lines they carve into the pavement. It, will wake you up if you're snoozing. It'll get your attention if you're just drifting. That's the first boundary. The second boundary is the metal guardrail. And you don't want to hit that because that will cause serious damage to your vehicle. But hitting the guardrail is definitely better than careening off of the roadway and plummeting to your death. Well, a statement of faith is sort of like a rumble strip. It's not the final boundary. Scripture itself alone is the final boundary. But a statement of faith is like a guardrail. If you're bumping up against the statement of faith, it should be a big warning sign to you that something may be very wrong with your beliefs. There are times where you may need to cross that rumble strip on the highway, but if you're going against or transgressing or going across or past the boundary of a statement of faith, then there may very well be something wrong. Number 2, the second reason why we need a statement of faith is it can help us read the Bible correctly. God has given his church teachers to help us understand his word. Nehemiah 8:8 says, they read out of the book of the law of God, translating and giving the meaning so that they could understand what was read. A good teacher is sort of like a set of reading glasses. Reading glasses help someone with imperfect eyesight to see the words that are in front of them. Reading glasses don't change the words, they just clarify the words that are actually there. Well, a statement of faith is like a set of reading glasses. It doesn't change the words of the Bible, it doesn't modify the truth, but it can help us see more clearly the truth that is actually in the Bible. It can help us see things the text actually says, but that we might not have seen or noticed or been able to see as clearly without the statement of faith helping us. The third reason we should have a statement of faith is that it helps us to learn and to teach consistently. Paul told his ministry apprentice Titus to proclaim things that are in keeping with sound doctrine or sound teaching or teaching that is cohesive and consistent. A statement of faith helps us summarize our beliefs so that we can learn them better and so that we can teach them better. If someone asked you, what do you believe about God? You would give an answer. And your answer might be short, it might be long, it might be biblically informed, it might be less biblically informed, but no matter what it was, it would be a summary of what you believe about God. A statement of faith simply answers that question in a very consistent, cohesive way, so that if we know and understand what our statement of faith says, that what do we believe about God, we can have a more clear and a more consistent understanding of the Bible's teaching on that important question. And the fourth reason, a statement of faith connects us to other Christians globally and historically. So a statement of faith is actually a humbling document because it tells us we're not the first people to study the Bible. We're not the first people to interpret the Bible. We're not the first people to read the Bible. Too often, I think, especially like as American Christians, like of which I am one, we've failed to understand that we're a part of a much larger thing that God is doing. A much larger thing geographically through the world, and a much larger thing chronologically and historically. That there have been Christians, not just for dozens of years, not just even for hundreds of years, but for thousands of years, there have been people trying to understand and teach the Bible. As Ezra 7:10 says, he studied it, he obeyed it, and he taught it. There's been people in all parts of the world through hundreds and thousands of years who have tried to do just that, to study and understand the Bible, to obey the Bible, and to communicate the Bible. So a statement of faith reminds us, we're not the newest, greatest thing. We are not the Lone Ranger pioneers of understanding theology or doctrine. We are part of a larger community, both globally and historically. So, I hope you'll join us for this season of Godology as we study our statement of faith. Our statement of faith is the Baptist Faith and Message, updated in the year 2000. And so we're going to be basing this study around that. It starts with the most important things, God, Scripture, Jesus, and then goes into more second and third level doctrines, and we're going to be talking about that. Also, I want to remind you that we are part of a global historical movement, like I just said, and so we affirm the historic statements of faith from the church. Well, the Nicene Creed was written in the 4th century AD and is affirmed by all streams of Christians, whether Protestant evangelical, which we are, or Roman Catholic or Eastern Orthodox. All streams of Christianity affirm the Nicene Creed, and the Nicene Creed teaches the doctrine of the Trinity. So we affirm the Nicene Creed. So we are part of a global historical movement studying and teaching the Bible. And then as we get a little narrower we have very distinctive beliefs about certain things, and we think we're right about those things. We don't apologize for that. If we didn't think we were right, we wouldn't believe them, we wouldn't teach them. So we need to keep in context the global historical perspective, and we also need to take seriously and be grateful for and celebrate the distinctives of what we believe the Bible clearly teaches. And so I hope you'll join along over the next few sessions as we study what we believe. It's going to be a really great learning experience and a growing experience. So join us next time.